Hello everyone and welcome to Exambee. In this video, I'm going to talk about NABARD IT Phase 2 analysis for 2023 examination, which concluded itself in the last week only. So basically, I have gathered some of the questions from the students who have appeared in the Phase 2 examination. We have a kind of mixed response from the student about the difficulty level of the exam and some of the unexpected questions that were asked, how to handle the word limit. There were a lot of things. Also in the descriptive area, they have changed the pattern slightly. It is not a big change, but still it is a change as compared to the last year. So I'm going to talk about those all topics in this video. It will be beneficial for those who have appeared in this particular exam this year, and also this will be very useful for the people who are planning to appear it in 2024. They will get to know and have an idea regarding what kind of questions were asked and what should be their line of approach when they are preparing for NABARD IT. So basically, the NABARD entire paper was distributed into three sections. One objective part one, which was having one marker question, then the objective part two, which was having the paragraph based question for 2 markers, and then we had the descriptive question, which was distributed again in two concepts of 15 marker and 10 marker, having different word limits and sets. So we have all talked about these kinds of stuff. But before discussing the question, just wanted to give an highlight for those people who are watching this video for the first time, don't know about the pattern of the exam, and they should have an idea what kind of questions and what is the pattern of the exam. Now, first, I am going to talk about the 15 marker descriptive questions which were asked in the exam. So there were 3 questions. Out of that, you have to attempt only 2 questions. And now the questions were clearly subparted. Basically, they were having the parts, and you will get the marks according to the concept of the part answers only. So you have to answer all the parts in order to get the full marks in that particular question. So earlier they were actually asking the question in just one line, but it was also having subparts. Intelligent people were able to identify that, but many of them just take it as one single question and then they answer. But this year they have made it very easy by bifurcating all the parts so that you can focus that what all parts you have answered and what all parts you haven't answered. Now, the question number one was related to data warehouse, and there was a lot of focus on the data warehouse when it comes to the objective part and the descriptive part as well. NABARD has consistently been focusing on the data warehouse topic, and it is actually showing every year that there is a major chunk, at least 5 to 10 marks of the entire IT paper is coming definitely from the data warehouse. And this year, I think it was more than 10-15 marks that was there. You can see 15 marks were directly from data warehouse. The concepts were not exactly purely from the data warehouse, but they were different and they were related to transaction database. They were related to data lake altogether, OLTP, OLAP. They were talking all about that in the hidden language. So the concept is that if you know in and out about the data warehouse in the theoretical knowledge, you don't need to have any practical knowledge about this. But if you know that in the theoretical knowledge, you can write a very good descriptive question. So now, what is the data warehouse? You can all answer that thing now. The second part was related to data lake and data warehouse, how they merge together, like how they actually, not exactly merging, how they actually work together. These two are different concepts, but how they actually jot down to one concept. There you have to actually try to make a sync between the data warehouse and data lake so that it shows the clarity that you know the differentiating factors between the data warehouse and data lake, and at the same time you know where they sync in together. So this is the zeal of the question for the part B. For part C, it was clearly the difference between data lake and data warehouse. Part D was basically for the data warehouse compared to the database transaction database basically. So these all were related to only the data. So you need to have clear definitions. Even if you are clear with the definitions, you will write a good answers for this particular question. Anyhow, if you don't have any idea, you can skip this question and can move on to the other 2 questions, which were basically on convolutional neural network and its layer. So this particular thing was a neural network, deep learning, and all those things were there. And then the question number 3 was based on the SDLC models for the iterative and the incremental model. So they didn't ask you specifically about a single kind of model. They just basically asked you about the concept. The concept itself is iterative and the incremental model. So you can just see where you are going to go for a spiral model or you are going to go for an V-based model, what kind of model, and what are the advantages of these two models, that actually you have to jot down in this question. The questions were quite easy, doable, but at the same time, they require a lot of clarity of thoughts and a lot of clarity of the technical aspect to answer them perfectly. This was the 15 marker section. Now let's come to the 10 marker section. For the 10 marker section, it was very easy paper, and it was the characteristics of the OOPS language and the advantages. Everybody knows it, but how to write a fruitful question answer, that is going to be the differentiating factor among the students. Some people just will explain the OOPS, and some people will explain while comparing it with the structural and the functional language. That will actually show the clarity how the things are going to make a difference between the answers. Many of the people, if they are going to write it in the bullet points, and they we don't even need to read the answer appeal in itself, that actually is one of the sigma rule for writing a good answer, and the people who have done that will be getting good marks definitely. So this was a very easy question. Then the second question was on the RDBMS and how these two things are different, DBMS versus RDBMS. So you all know that there are different types of data structures, database management system. There you have hierarchical, there you have tree, there you have mixed hybrid one, there you have trees. There are different kinds of database management system. But RDBMS is the one that is used majorly in everywhere, like Oracle, MySQL. Everyone is using relational database management system. So how these two are different, how these two are being different from the soul. Basically, you have to compare both of them, given the example, giving the architectural level of the things, and the efficiency and the application that they are having in the real-time scenarios. For example, how they are implemented, how they are looked at, how they are designed, what is the architecture, then what is the physical, logical, and the view level kind of things which are there in the relational and the normal database management system. If we say relational database management system, then also there comes the good concept that is called as normalization. So if you are able to ponder these all vocabulary points in your answer, the technical aspect, then definitely you're going to get very good marks. See, if the question itself is difficult, the answer will not make much difference, because the question itself is very difficult and people will have less things to write. But when question is very easy, you have to be extra careful while writing the answer, because everybody knows that answer. Everybody is going to write that answer. Now, how you will make your answer different is the actual fight for this particular exam. So in the 10 marker section, the entire fight will be how you portray your answer with good technical vocabulary, at the same time with good technical clarity. Now, the third question was on the different types of data structure. Explain any five data structure. So when you're going to explain any five data structures, you have to make sure that you explain with a good real time example. It should not be that you know things only in the theoretical manner. You don't know any practical implementation. So if you are talking about graphs, go into Google Maps. If you're talking about the trees, go for the structural thing, and you can go for anything which is a structured in the hierarchical manner. It can be used anywhere, like B trees, B plus trees. These all are the three kind of data structures which are used in DBMS as well. So here, how you actually see a data structure from the application perspective was the soul of the question, and the one who have written this kind of answer are definitely in the safe boat for the descriptive section. So this was my analysis on 15 marker and 10 marker questions, and how you should write it, and what is actually expected from you to write it. Because people will say, I have written these many words, I have written that many words, I am less on words. Word limit is important, but only word limit is not important. If you are writing, let's say, an answer of 15 marker in 300 words, but your words and your vocabulary and your concept is very clear, definitely you are going to get good marks as compared to a student who is writing, let's say, 400 to 450 words, but it is all repetitive and the concepts are going to just getting repeated. They are just increasing the words, not the concept. They are not pondering anything new in the next line. So the entire difference will be on the concept. Will be definitely, there will be a word limit. You cannot compare something with 100 words with 300 words, but yes, you can compare something with 100 words and 400 words. So yes, there is the actual difference. If you have written the answer, what is asked in the question, then definitely you're going to get a good marks. Otherwise, there will be only the words which are increasing the length of the answer, but not the quality of the answer. So in descriptive, it is not always the quantity of the words that you are giving. It is more on the side of the quality that you are delivering. Now, the questions in the objective parts were asked from these areas. There were more also, but we got only these kinds of replies as of now. In future, we are going to make more detailed approach. So here in the objective part, most of the questions were basically something which is used and being followed from in the industry basically. And the questions itself were not so easy for those people who are just reading the paper, like just reading the normal basic things. They don't have any idea what is going around in the world with the IT. That will be like a little problem. But anyhow, most of the people who are facing difficulty in the objective part in both the section, where like section 1 and section 2. So you should not be feeling disheartened. Just make sure that you didn't give any negative attempts. Like everyone will get some negative attempts, but make sure your positive attempts are way more than the negative attempts. Like it should be 90 to 10. 90 should be positive and 1%, like 10% can be negative only, because it is the exam where just 0.2 or 0.1 marks can also make a very huge difference. So you never know what can be the differentiating factor. Always try to be sure with your answers when it comes to objective part, and specifically in NABARD, because they are having only 30 questions, and out of those questions, if you do any negative, you are going to bear a very high loss in that section. So the question again in the objective section is not about how many people have attended what was your attempt. The question again, how many you did correct. That is always the answer, that will I be getting selected or will I not be getting the selection. So these were the objective parts. I think you can see we'll bring the more memory based question, we'll frame them in better manner, and then we can have a discussion over that for the people who are going to appear in 2024. And this objective part was, trust me, like doable, very much doable. 80% was still static and 20% will be, I'll be saying, the miscellaneous kind of stuff. If even you are good in the 80%, it's very good attempt that you are able to make it in the objective part. Then the second objective part was related to 2-marker, which is based on the paragraph based questions, and these topics were there. I like when you read about the ethernets, you read about the IEEE, token ring, LAN, these all things, then IoT, edge computing, these are all the miscellaneous topics that are trending. Java stream packages, definitely there will be some questions on this thing, but these all were the paragraph based questions. But again, what you have to ponder upon was the topic that was asked and what kind of variety NABARD is actually taking. So I will say this year they did some kind of experiments with relation to the descriptive section, as well as little bit in the 2-marker section. They did some kind of experiment, and definitely whenever any examination happens with a little set of surprise and experiment, either the cutoffs are going to get very high or the cutoffs are going to get very low as compared to the previous year. For me, I think cutoff will remain same or comparable as till the previous year. There is not much a difference, but yes, previous year 2022 paper was way easier as compared to 2023 paper. That is the clear boundary, clear decision that yes, this year paper was difficult as compared to the previous year paper. But when it comes to the cutoff, because the seats are very less and people are very talented right now, so I'll say that they will be very, very much comparable. Little bit 1 and 2 marks can be here and there on the lower side for 2023, but not much a difference. So this was my analysis on the objective part. Now I would like to bring into the notice for all of you who are feeling that they have done great or they haven't done great. The only thing that is like, what is done, it is dusted now. Prepare for the next phase. So if you are feeling that you will be getting even 10% of the feeling that okay, you might be getting called for the interviews, so please do start preparing for the interview and start working on those aspects which you are weak on. We'll soon bring some videos on how to prepare for the interviews for the NABARD, and you guys can get benefits of that. We also offer the NABARD mock interview, where the people who have actually faced it will be actually guiding you, will be judging you, and will be providing you the feedback, which should be very, very, very important. The people will be having vast experience and they will be good enough to judge you. So yes, people who are feeling that they might make it to the interviews, please do not waste your time and start preparing for the interview. We'll bring more videos for your interview guidance. Till the time we bring the next video, keep practicing and stay updated. I hope you like this video, so do hit the like button and subscribe to the channel so that you never miss an update from our side by pressing the bell icon. If you still have any doubt, you can just write us at hello@exambit.com or can ping us at the number which is flashed on the screen. So now get up and prepare 50% faster with iXambi. We are there in your journey. Hope for the best. All the best for all of the candidates who are waiting for the results. May all of you get the job that you deserve. So that was all from my side. See you in the next video with the interview guidance.